You are welcome to another video of the course F5 Big IP Advanced WAF or ASM. In every web application, only certain file types and predefined properties are permitted. F5 Advanced WAF can either manually or automatically learn these file types and their properties in each web application and discard any other file types that are not permitted, as well as those permitted but whose properties don't comply with security policy. This is what we are going to discuss and also demonstrate in this section. To begin demonstration, in the first step, we create a security policy. In the section security, application security, and then policy list, we create a new security policy with the name of action based on comprehensive security policy and apply it to Hack It Yourself web application or PHP auction virtual server, and then application language UTF-8, enforcement mode blocking, learning manual, and then server technologies Linux, Apache, PHP, and finally MySQL. And we have applied to the virtual server PHP auction or Hack It Yourself web application, and then we will save. Then in the next step, we go to the section learning and blocking setting, where almost all security policy components are configured, and then we will go in the section file types and we set the learning mode from compact to always. This ensures that each file type associated with the web application is independently learned and governed by its own distinct security policy. Also, I make sure that the learn, alarm, and block are enabled for all violations related to file type, which is by default activated in comprehensive security policy. And then save, and then apply. To determine which file types are allowed by default, we navigate to the security policy, and in the section HTTP message protection and then file types, these policies configured to allow all file types without imposing any restriction on the URL lengths, on the request lengths, on the query string lengths, or post data lengths. This is just a starting point for further policy customization based on the specific needs of the web application. Now we will browse different sections of Hack It Yourself web application to meet different file types. For example, in the home page, and then we log in to the site, and then here is the PHP file type, and then control panel, and probably in some products. The next one, here is a picture. I hope that these pictures are in different formats. In the section control panel, sell an item, contact us, help, and then log out. Then we check traffic learning to see what new file types are learned in the section policy building, and then traffic learning. We filter based on file types. Here based on file types, and then apply. And as you can see, JPEG, GIF, PHP, and no extension. No extension means there is no extension. For example, and to the control panel, you see here is no file type or no extension. There are 4 new file types that are learned and we can accept if they are legitimate in this web application. If we manually accept these file types, we are accepting these file types are allowable file types in this web application. We accept and then enable staging for these file types. Accept and then staging. Accept and then staging. accept and enable staging. And finally, the last file type. Staging allows traffic with properties deviating from those defined in the security policy to pass through without being rejected. Instead, an alert is generated to signal the deviation. After a while, we will enforce all learned file types to guarantee that any file types not conforming to the security policy will be discarded. It's worth noting that in practice, learning file types and various policy components is actually done automatically in F5 Advanced WAF. As a file type appears repeatedly over time, it gradually gains trust. Once the learning score reaches 100, indicating a high level of confidence in the file type's legitimacy, it then will automatically be added to the list of allowed file type. We will talk about automatic learning in a specific lesson in this course. If we check again the allowed file types in the security policy, policies, and then auction, and in the section HTTP message protection, and then file types, we can see that in addition to the default asterisk, new file types with new properties have been added to the list. All of them are also in staging mode. As you can see, there are restrictions in the URL lengths, request lengths, query string lengths, and post data lengths, and all of them are also in the staging mode at the moment. After a while, when all file types of a web application and their properties are learned, it is expected that the asterisk file type will be deleted and all staging will be changed to enforce. Enforce means that any deviation in the file type or file type properties is discarded. The file type properties, including these parameters, can be also manually configured when we click in each file type independently. As you can see, URL lengths, request length, query string lengths, and post data length. But in best practice, the properties will be learned automatically through F5 Advanced WAF module, since probably it's difficult to distinguish the values that we have to configure for each parameter.